Let me create actually the user controller, and we will see if it works properly, because let me stop the service. Okay, where's my body? So I have this. I'm just copying, I'm putting. I have annotations, Spring Boot test annotation, and auto configure mock MVC. Let's read a little bit. Annotation that can be specified on a test case that runs Spring Boot based tests provides the following features over and above the regular Spring text context framework. Probably this thing will run the whole application, and it's not to run only for controller, let's say, because if you want to run specific controller, you need to use different annotations, and you need to specify which repository, which configuration to use. But in that case, I think this is the specific Spring thing that you just need to put and use, and it's quite simple. So I see we have here method create user and get user, right? So in first request we are creating, after that we are fetching that user that we created. Let's check. Better to run from the class side, because we have before each that will delete all. Anyway, let's debug actually. And maybe we can check even that database. Okay, so let's see. So that second call should guarantee that user was added successfully, because you are adding from this place, you're performing create operation, and after that you are getting that user that was created. And if you have that ID, let's say, that means that user was created, because I don't have in DB those values. For example, if you check, I have users, but I don't have. I stopped. Yeah, that's actually another thing that I need to. In any case, this is yeah, it's clear. It's mock MVC. So let me do this actually again, and let me go to create users and user service, update user node. I don't need update user, I need create user. Where is create user? Create user I need, and get user by ID. Okay, let's check. Let's check again. Okay, so here is the first call for create user. From that JSON, it mapped to this DTO, and it will run this. It will save the user, and after that, it will map back to DTO from entity, user entity. And after that, it will find by email, and it will make get operation, find by ID. And we see that this user are inserted, and we're returning this back, and it works. It works fine. There's no issue with that testing approach. Okay, so this is for create user and get user. Probably there can be more things that I haven't noticed. Okay, so what else we have there? User controller. I added it. This does ensure your service logic, your handling, and API points works as expected. I would add more tests, honestly. I would add more tests for user controller that will cover all cases. positive and negative. Let's see. What can we see? Yeah, it's quite difficult to explain what's going on under the hood. If you just a regular engineer, you just know that it works, But sometimes there are a lot of things that you need to do, and you don't even have time to go deep and understand how it works under the hood. At least not for everything, because there are a lot of things that can be investigated and can be time spent, but who will write business logic if you will investigate on the libraries that you include in Spring Boot or something like this? Yeah, I see it added a lot of cases. Create user and get user. Create user with invalid email should return validation error. That makes sense, actually. Get user not found should return 404. That also makes sense. Update user success and duplicate user. First, we are updating user successfully, and after that, we are getting duplicate. Try to update your email, the Tom email. It's clear. First, you're creating Tom, after that, you're creating Jerry, and after that, you're trying to update Jerry to Tom back. And it will throw an exception. Delete user success and not found. That makes sense. First, you're creating user. After that, you're deleting user. And after that, you should get not found exception because user does not exist. Okay, let's see if everything works as expected. I will not run in debug mode because it's pretty clear for me what's going on. You can also check in GitHub. I will push it there. So it's working. You see, all tests are passed. And it's very easy to write tests with Spring Boot currently without knowing implementation of annotations or everything else. You just need to understand what exactly you need to do. And see, in the end, before each it will delete all users that you created. Okay, let's run actually my service. You know what? There is one thing I want to do. To add probably test containers or something like this. Let me first see if it works. Something wrong with caching probably. Let me check what's going on. Something with pagination. Get all users pageable. Could not construct instance page impl. No creators like default constructor exist. Well, actually, it's good case to check how it can fix it. Let's see. You see the problem with the deserialization of page impl object from Redis cache. Actually, let's try to fix it. First, let's create this class, abstract class, I see. Okay, I will need to create it in main Java config, new Java class, and this. Okay, let's copy, let's paste. Create it. So second step is register the mix in your Redis configuration. Solution: configure Jackson to handle page impl serialization deserialization by registering the Jackson data type GDK8 GRC GSR. 310 modules and explicitly add a mixin for page impl. Okay, first part I changed. Now I need Redis configuration to change. Redis config. Okay, let me update it. Okay, I see what was done. Add mixed in. Download documentation. Let's read a little bit about it. Method to use for adding mixin annotations to use for augmenting specify class or interface. All annotations from mixin source are taken to override that target. Yeah. Okay, at least let's see if it fixed or not. Because probably... Let's see. Let's say explain simpler what is this. The method add mixin injects an object mapper, lets you add extra annotations to a class without modifying its source. Annotations from mixin source class will override or supplement those on the target class during serialization deserialization. This is useful for customizing how third-party framework classes are handled by JAXA. That makes sense. That page impl are not working properly. Because it's third party. Okay. Let me try to rerun, but probably I will need to clean cache. Okay. Is there anything else? Or I hope I haven't missed anything. Yeah, I added Redis configuration. Okay, it's up and running. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, probably it is because of... Let me go to the Redis. Through the terminal, I will write... I don't remember, honestly. And probably you also. Okay. Okay. I tried to find all case. After that, I flushed all. I removed all of them in simple words. And after that, there's nothing. And probably I will have nothing here. Yep. Well, for some reasons I have something. No idea. Let's say again. How this can happen. Let me do it again. Okay. Okay. So let me check the DB. Is there something wrong with my 432? Maybe I have something else. Yep. I could put some easier. Okay. Okay, so I will need to clean up a little bit here. That's it for me, I think.